Jump out the house, jump out the house, jump out the house. Hey guys, what's up? It's the Culture Detective here. Scared for my life. So today I'm going to try to talk a little bit quieter. I'm sorry if I'm a quiet person, but I truly shouldn't be doing this. It's bad timing. But I have to because I will be busy in the next 2 days. So today I'm going to be doing an album review on the new Playboi Carti album, Music, or as you can see in the album cover, I Am Music. So Playboi Carti, rapper, he's back with a new album in 5 years. And Carti fans have been doing nothing but waiting for this album to drop. So for Carti fans, for the hip hop community, this is a huge freaking deal. Everyone's talking about it. Everyone's waiting on this album and Frank Ocean's new album, which may never even come out at this point. But obviously, even though I've enjoyed a lot of Playboi Carti's music before, I wasn't really that excited for this, given that I was already kinda disappointed by Whole Lotta Red. I thought that Whole Lotta Red is bloated, there are some really good ideas, there are some fun moments, but the whole album overall just felt very hollow. Of course, before Whole Lotta Red in 2017, or I think 2018, he released Die Lit, which I thought has a lot of bangers on it, I really loved it, but truth be told, I really wasn't that excited for music. But essentially, throughout the last few years, there have been a lot of memes saying that Playboi Carti invented music. Bro invented music. So Carti literally took that meme and made it come true with this new album. On top of that, this album is 1 hour and 16 minutes long, and it has 30 tracks. 30 frickin' tracks. So yeah, this is really long, and unless the artist is someone I really respect and love, 30 tracks is too much. It's just too much. Let me just get out of the way and say that this album is bloated. It has too much going on, and there's a lot of filler, and I didn't enjoy most of the tracks because of that. Now, the album opener, Pop Out, I didn't like it at first. I thought it was really boring, but it grew on me a lot more after repeated listens because I just love how all out wacky and unhinged it is. It is very noisy, not catchy at all, but the energy is off the roof. So, slowly but surely, I started to like Pop Out. The second track, Crush, is surprisingly not bad too. It features Travis Scott, who has a pretty nice presence on this track, but more importantly, I love the beautiful lush keyboards and the backup vocals on this track. It is genuinely too gorgeous for a Playboi Carti song, and honestly, credits due to the producers of this track, not Carti himself, though I have to admit Carti does have some kind of artistic taste going into making tracks like this. The shame is that the lyrics suck ass. The track Crush is, most of it is just, she gon' let me crush, 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 and that's the whole track really. So following that, we have what is probably the most talked about part of this album, and that is the Kendrick features. Not one, not two, but three Kendrick Lamar features on this album, and that has stirred up a lot of controversy and talk. Most importantly, being that Kendrick Lamar has ascended to the throne as the king of hip hop as of now. I can't think of an artist as influential, as important, and as talented as Kendrick Lamar right now, working right now, alive. So obviously, seeing Kendrick Lamar appear in a Playboi Carti album is a huge deal. But the strange thing is Kendrick Lamar, especially in his last albums, Mr. Morale, The Big Steppers, he also talked about how much he dislikes infidelity, adultery, and domestic abuse, and how much he stands against those things. Here's the thing. Isn't Playboi Carti an abuser? Didn't Playboi Carti hit his girlfriend or something? And then there are also a plethora of tracks on this album about cheating and shining a good light on cheating as if it's some fun, interesting thing, like the track Backdoor. How does Kendrick Lamar stand for that? I don't really know, but it is not a good rep. I'm sorry. But I do have to admit the track Mojo Jojo is a lot of fun. Even though I think the beat is very mid, Kendrick Lamar went ham on this thing. He lost his marbles. And I love these ad-libs. Mojo Jojo. Mojo Jojo. It's so goofy, and I love it when Kendrick goofs out. And then again, we have Backdoor, where Playboi Carti uh, raps in a higher register, which is very interesting. But again, really weird that Kendrick Lamar is featured on this. Oh my god, my hair. Jesus Christ. And then the third Kendrick Lamar feature appears on the track Good Credit, and Kendrick has so much energy. It's amazing. The hook is really catchy. He also calls Playboi his evil twin. Maybe that explains something. I don't know. There are also other tracks on this album that features artists like Rather Lie, which features The Weeknd, but of course, this track feels more like a Weeknd song than a Playboi Carti song. It's catchy, the instrumentals are spacey, it's good, but again, Playboi Carti barely has any presence on this track. I could pretty much say the same thing on Toxic featuring Skepta. I think Playboi Carti barely has any presence on this track. Skepta really works. I think his British accent hitting the angular beats and the instrumentals actually work really well. Unfortunately, the beat is just very forgettable. We Need All the Vibes feature Young Thug and Ty Dolla $ign, and it's a rap song duet triplet thing, but the thing is, this whole track is just a sappy, throwaway pop song. But there are still a couple of tracks that I really love in the rest of the album. We have I See You Baby Boy, where Playboi Carti basically makes a hyper pop song. He's basically doing Charlie XCX on this track, and it's really bright, it's really futuristic, it's really fun, it's really catchy, and I genuinely love it. And then we have Olympian, which has a really solid melodic beat, lots of energy, strong delivery, really enjoying it. And there are also some tracks with nice production, like Radar, which is going for this spooky Halloween thing for some reason. It's just a bit too brief at less than 2 minutes long. Charge Dem Hoes a Fee is essentially a track with a really hard trap beat, and then Future is on it, and he's just like, ugh, ugh. But yeah, the last 8 tracks on this album is basically a bunch of mindless short B-sides, tracks like OPM Baby, Trim, and even earlier Munyon are very boring tracks that just leave nothing for me. And the album ends up with South Atlanta Baby, where he raps about the harsh, struggling life of living at South Atlanta. But the beat is so generic. The beat is so generic and forgettable, I just can't get into it at all. Especially with lyrics like bustin' on his eye hole and pop you in your lips. So yeah, overall, this Playboi Carti album music is very generic, very forgettable, very bloated. Some good moments here and there, but just wasn't really into it at all. Feeling a strong 4 to a light 5 on this thing. Thank you for watching. I'm scared. I'm sorry.